Hi, I hope this video helps you to do some checks, prevent some mishaps and helps you overall. Have a look at other videos as well. GCN do some good videos, Bicycling Weekly, have a search on YouTube. But this is the main thing that I do every week and daily is checks for the tyres. So what I'll do is on the tyres I'll go through the grooves, make sure there's no sharp objects, remove any stones, take them out. I'll do the tyre pressures once a week. I set them to 40 psi and I weigh 80 kilos, and I can tell when I'm riding in the rain the amount of pattern on the tyre I can see is about that much. I know that if the tyres were overinflated it would be less, and if they was underinflated they'd be more, and also you'd feel them a lot more, you know, flexing down, etc., or a problem of pinch flats. So I feel I've got my tyre pressures just about right. That's for you to experiment, see what you find out. So the thing that I would do first is I just make sure that the tyres are clean, go round and thing, check. I'd make sure they're spinning freely, which they are. The brakes pull okay. I check the spokes. So to check the spokes, get the wheel off the ground and just grab the four and just see if there's any loose. Start at the valve and then work your way round. I've checked mine already, so that spins okay. The other thing is the wheel bearing. So if you hold the actual rim and just pull backwards and forwards, there shouldn't be any play. Should test in a couple of places, say about every 45 or 50 degrees, just to see that there's nothing there. So that's all good. Spins freely. There's equal play on either the side of the pads, and you can see there's no resistance on the wheel. It's just spinning really easy. The other good thing about cleaning the bike is that hopefully you go over everything and you make sure there's nothing loose. You might be able to catch something if you see something coming undone. Also as well, when you're cleaning the bike, maybe you can see if cables get nicked or if there's any wear indications. Same again with tyres, really important. Clean the tyres, make sure they're good. So then the next thing to do is to come to the headstock, check the headstock. So I'll lift the bike up in the air here and I'll just spin the handlebars from side to side. They move really easy, and also as well, just to make sure you've got no play forwards and backwards. So if you was to put the front wheel brake on, push, and you shouldn't feel any play around here where the bearings are, then that tells you it's not too loose. What normally happens with head bearings is they wear out or they're too tight and you feel them very notchy. What will happen is they'll want to sit virtually in the straight position, and when they're like that you need to replace them. You can, if you want, just, you know, with a Allen key, just check that everything's pinch tight. On the cube, the belt, I've actually used the Gates app to test it, but an old-fashioned way, which on some of the cam belts, is that they used to twist the belt. If it twists through 45 degrees and no more, then that's about the right tension. I mean, you have to adjust it how you feel. Same again, I've cleaned the belt just with water, and I've just checked to make sure there's no cuts on the belt. It's all good. It's tight, like I say, in both places there. It's all looking good. there doesn't feel any play on the bottom crankset. Pedals are all tight. And then I'll go back to the back wheel. Same again, spin the back wheel. And I did find that the brake pad on this side was actually rubbing. So what I did was I undone the 2 Allen bolts there, took the rotor off, and I don't know if you can see on this split pin, but it was set up the other way, so the pin was pushing up there, and on the pin it had actually worn out, so it was slightly worn. I'll have to buy a new one now. But if I turn it round the other way, then I think what happened was it had worn a groove on the pads, and so the pads weren't moving freely. But now you can see that, well, hopefully you can see there's let me put something white down there. There's an equal amount of space either side of the disc and the pads, and the wheel just spins freely, no resistance. So there we go. So if I pull the brake as well, you see the pads going in and they're releasing out again as well, which is a good thing to see. Same again with the back tyre. Just go through the back tyre, check to see if you've got any stones, reduce the stones, check tyre pressures and spokes as well. Just go round from the spokes, start at the valve, grab all 4, see if they all feel relatively tight. There should be a bit of flex in them, but there shouldn't be any that are really loose. Same again with the wheel bearings, check the wheel bearings, so grab the rim, pull it there, and you can tell there's no play. Move it round, no play, move it round, no play. And in another video I have done the actual gear adjustment, and that's just underneath there. You'll see in another video how to adjust that every so often. Just make sure that that's good. Hopefully that will help you carry out some checks. Some things I can think of that I know you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to put the bike upside down with hydraulic brakes. I mean, hopefully they bleed out all the air completely, but if there was any air that was trapped in those and it was upside down, the air would go into the brake and you might get some spongy brakes there. But that's the main thing to do, is to check for your cycle items, tyres, wheels, most important. Brakes are working, they've got play. Your tyres spin freely, there's nothing loose, nothing coming undone, and it's all good. Hope that's helped you. Let me know if you have any more questions, and look forward to your likes and comments. Thanks.